Hello everyone. Konrad from CGLM.EU here, welcoming you warmly. Today, we're starting a new series of videos where I'll be talking about different types of hoists. Each subsequent video will feature a new hoist model from a specific manufacturer. Today, we begin with the hoist from Chainmaster. We are dealing with the SK070/16U hoist. It is designed as a D8 hoist, but comes with a dual brake system. I'll show it to you right now. This hoist is from the year 2021, representing a new construction type. At first glance, you can notice that the chain guide has been slightly modified. Additionally, the handles installed are smaller, so from the user's perspective, be aware as they are prone to breaking. Another change is the location of the gearbox. Currently, under this cover, we have the entire hoist gearbox. In previous versions, the setup involved electrical connections on one side, followed by the gearbox, and on the other side, there were brake, clutch, rectifiers for the brake, various switches, etc. Here, we have the gearbox on top, and on the other side, we have the entire electrical installation. Let's talk for a moment about the nameplate. We have the ED parameter at 40%. This means that the hoist can operate for 40% of the time in an hour. An important change is the addition of a hole for attaching the chain and chain block, but the nameplate doesn't mention the hoist's capability to work with a chain block. This means that even though the hole is there, we cannot install a chain block. The chain here still has a round profile of 7 by 22. The hoist weighs approximately 36 kilograms, and each meter of chain weighs 1 kilograms. For an additional fee, this hoist can be manufactured with an IP66 protection rating, making it an interesting solution for the stage industry. Here we have the installed hook, which looks like this. It is easy to maintain and readily accessible. It can be lubricated during routine inspections. However, there is a bit of confusion with the markings on the hook. One drawing shows how the hook should be installed if using a single chain, while the other indicates a different direction for a double chain. This contradicts what is stated on the nameplate. Nevertheless, the label informs us that the hoist can lift 1,000 kilograms, so even if theoretically using a double chain is not allowed, the hook reminds us of this restriction. Furthermore, take note of the large bag installed here. It is a great solution, providing more assurance that the chain won't tangle, spill, or fall to the ground. What's next? We'll open the hoist a bit, and you'll see its internals. Of course, in typical Chainmaster fashion, we have a screw-on hook. This is also a very good way to mount the hook, as the technician can open it during each inspection, check the first link, which is always under load. It can be nicely lubricated. And now we proceed to open the hoist. The first thing that caught my attention with this batch that came in for inspection is that the seal is poorly placed. The hoist, being from 2021, is expected to be in very good condition. Besides that, the installed hook requires a bit of cleaning and lubrication. We have a dual brake system here with 2 rectifiers. The brakes are connected to separate phases. This means that if one of them is missing, the brake without a phase won't open. A single brake is powerful enough to prevent the hoist from starting. So if you are on site and hear the engine running, but the hoist is not moving, it could be an indication of a power supply issue. One phase is missing and one of the brakes won't open. This prevents the hoist from being damaged because in a 3-phase hoist, operating on 2 phases can cause serious damage. It's a very interesting product. Small, lightweight, yet capable of lifting a lot. Now, let me show you a significant advantage for Chainmaster compared to other manufacturers. Not all, but of course, there are worse solutions out there. Let's talk for a moment about the chain and guides. As always, I mention that guides are not meant for straightening the chain, but if the chain becomes twisted, using the guides will damage them. Here I have a piece from an older model, but you can see how the guide looks. So yes, using the guides to straighten the twisted chain will damage them. Inside, there is a second guide that will also be damaged. If we damage this second guide, the metal drive wheel of the chain and the metal tensioner will be exposed. Now, if these guides get damaged, they can be replaced. Theoretically, it works in a way that when the chain enters twisted, there are such large forces and friction inside that the clutch starts to slip. However, the performance of these clutches can vary in practice. What can such damage to the guides lead to? It can lead to permanent damage to the hoist, to the point where it's not worth repairing. If, for example, we had the internal guide torn, it means that the chain will no longer go where it should, it will no longer come out from the top, but from the bottom, accumulating inside the hoist. If it collects a few links, it will break the housing, the handle for the bag will fall off, and a hole will form here. Such things are not repaired. We can replace these guides. However, if we continue using a twisted chain, we can damage the chain drive wheel. We can damage the metal guide inside, and we can damage the chain. Chains, as we know, are expensive. If we cause damage to the chain drive wheel, which is installed inside, we come to a disadvantage. This disadvantage applies not only to Chainmaster, but today we are discussing this product. Namely, if anything happens to the gearbox, if anything happens to the chain drive wheel, whether some sealing on the shaft gets damaged or the seal that closes the gearbox housing gets damaged, unfortunately, no Chainmaster technician is allowed to open the gearbox. Furthermore, Chainmaster does not sell parts that require opening the gearbox. This means that if we need to replace the chain drive wheel, we will have to send the hoist to a Chainmaster service center in Germany. If the seal on the shaft gets damaged, the hoist will have to be sent to a Chainmaster service center in Germany. So this is something that is a disadvantage for Chainmaster. However, as I mentioned, it's not only Chainmaster that follows this practice. So much for this model of the Chainmaster hoist. More materials will be coming soon. If you have any questions about hoists or if you're looking for a technician, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to advise, chat, and of course repair if needed. Warm regards to everyone. Bye. English version was created using Descript and ChatGPT.